Okay, so we're on section 1.7, which is signed numbers. And this is where we are talking about integers. We're talking about positive and negative numbers. Okay, so we're going to be on page 25. We're talking about integers or positive and negative numbers. Let's look at the sheet that you all have. All right, so we've done this many times last year, but we're going to review it and go over in depth. We're going to start by looking at adding and subtracting integers. All right, so if you are given a problem such as 2 plus a negative 5, the first thing you look for is if you have an addition or subtraction sign right here. Does everybody see that? Okay, if it's addition, then you go to the addition section here, and you go down, and it says, are the signs the same? Are they the same? In other words, do you have an invisible positive sign here and a negative sign here? Yes. So that means they are different, right? So you go down the different slot. What do you do if the signs are different?
Subtract and use the sign of the greater value.
Okay, so if I subtract, it's going to be 3. Is it going to be positive 3 or negative 3?
Negative.
Negative 3, okay? So let's say that I have a negative 5 plus a negative 6. Okay, first thing I looked at was my addition, because I have an addition, not a subtraction. I go over here to my same sign, and what do? Right, so my sign, the same sign is a negative, and it is 11. Okay, Noah. Okay, so what do we do if we have a subtraction sign? Well, let's say that we have negative 7 minus 2. Okay, so go to the subtraction sign, because that's what we have here, right? What do? Add the opposite. In other words, add a line and change the sign. What do I mean by that? I'm going to show you. I'm going to add a line, change the sign. You guys done this before, right? Yeah. Add a line, change the sign. Then what am I going to do? Then I'm going to go and follow the addition rules, right? In other words, I have two. They have the same sign, 2 negatives, so I'm going to add and keep the sign. Okay? It's important that you'll learn them. The more that you do them, it will just come natural. Okay? There's another way that you can look at it for addition and subtraction. Let's say that you have let's say that you have 2 addition or 2 positives. That's going to stand for positive, okay? Or you have a positive and a negative, and you have an addition sign. Then your answer is going to be positive. Your answer here is going to be it's going to be positive or negative. It's going to be based on the greater number. So you're going to use the sign of the larger number. Okay? I honestly find multiplying and dividing integers a whole lot easier than adding and subtracting, because they share the same exact rules pretty much as multiplication and division share the same rules. It's addition and subtraction is when you got to remember what to do, okay? So let's focus on addition and subtraction right now for just a little bit. All right, so in this case, the first one up here, we have a negative 7 plus positive 11, okay? Now, why do I know that's positive? Because there's not a negative sign in front of it, so it has an invisible positive sign, right? All right, so I have a negative and a positive. So, but I want to look at my mathematical symbol first, which is addition. So if my signs are different, what am I going to do? I am going to subtract. Okay, so 11 minus 7 is what? 4. Now, my question is my answer positive or negative? Okay, why is it positive? That's right, the larger number is 11 and it is positive, so my answer is positive 4. Okay, the next one, I have 8 plus a negative 9. Same situation, I'm going to subtract, right? Is my answer going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
Why is it going to be negative?
Because numbers.
Yep, so if your signs are different and you have an addition, you are going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number, okay? You're going to subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. All right, let's look at the next one. What's our first step here? Add a line, change the sign. Okay, exactly. I'm going to add a line, change the sign. So now I have addition, right? And I have the same signs. What do I do when I have the same signs? Add and keep the signs. Okay, now I have 19 minus 4. What am I going to do? Well, what am I going to do first when I'm dealing with integers? Add a line, change the sign. Then you go back to your addition rules, and when you have a positive and a negative, what do, Ezra?
What?
When you have a positive and a negative? 15 positive or negative? Positive. I remember last year yeah. And I'm going to write a problem. I'm going to let you work it. You write your answer on a paddle and put it down until I say paddles up. Okay?
Perhaps.
Negative 3 plus positive 7. 9 plus a negative 15. And again, that's a positive 9 plus a negative 15. A negative 6. Because you subtract, you keep the sign of the larger number, and the larger number is negative 15. All right, let's do a few more here. This time we're just going to have simply 20 minus 7. All right, okay, paddles up. Your answer is a positive 13. Here you have a negative 7 plus a negative 3 plus a negative 5. So you're going to start here and you're going to solve this first, which is what?
Negative 10.
Okay, it would be a negative 10 plus a negative 5. Then what would your answer be?
Negative 15.
Negative 15. That's right. That would be your answer. Okay, here we go. So negative 2 minus negative 8, which you want to add a line, change the sign.
Wait, what?
Add a line, change the sign.
Wait. So it was negative 2 minus 8, right?
Negative 2 plus negative 8. The signs are the same, so you're going to have a negative 10. Notice how I'm showing my work, folks.
Yeah, Ezra.
Notice how I'm showing my work. Negative 10 plus positive 2. You're going to subtract and get a negative 8. Plus a negative 4 equals a negative 12. Okay? All right, so multiplying or dividing. Rules are the same for both. Okay, so you're going to ask yourself, if I have 3 times a negative 6, all right, I'm looking at this problem. All right, are the signs the same in this problem? No. So if they are different, you're automatically going to know your answer is going to be negative. So you're going to multiply. And my answer is going to be negative. If I had negative 3 times a negative 6, yes, I would still have 18, but my negatives cancel out. Okay? I always like to put it that way. If the signs are the same, your answer is going to always be positive. Only when you're multiplying and dividing. Okay? You guys with me? When you're multiplying and dividing and your signs are the same, whether they're both negative, whether they're both positive, your answer is always going to be positive. Okay? We have something along the lines of a -4 times a +4. We automatically know we're going to multiply. And then if you are multiplying or dividing and the signs are different, your answer is negative. Okay? If we had 4 times 4, my answer would be +16. If I had a -4 times a -4, my answer would be a +16. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, if you have one negative, your answer is negative when you're multiplying or dividing. When they're both positive, or you could say the same, your answer is positive. If your signs are the same, your answer is positive. Okay? Same exact thing for dividing. What if you had a -3 squared? That would be the same thing as what?
9 positive?
9 negative.
It'd be positive, wouldn't it? Well, no, it'd be negative. No, it'd be negative.
Why would it be negative?
No, it will be positive because it's negative.
Yeah, it's positive.
Oh. Yeah, it's positive.
Me 10 seconds ago was more correct than me.
Okay, yep, it would be +9. All right, let's look at another one. What if we had a -20 over a +4? What would your answer be?
-6.
Positive.
5.
5, yes. -5.
It would be, okay,
Yeah.
it's a -5. You divide, 20 divided by 4 is 5. Your signs are different, so your answer is negative. Okay? Let's do another one, or 2, or 3. All right, what if you have a -30 divided by a -10? What would your answer be?
Positive.
+3. Anytime you're multiplying or dividing and my signs are the same, I always tell myself if they're both negative, they cancel out. That way you know where they went. They're gone. Let's do a few more. What if we have -44 divided by +11? What would your answer be? -4. You guys are doing great. So let's get your paddles out, and then I'm going to write down several